not a sign of life. All doors under lock and key. The only sign of life is the domestic animals, a handful of them left behind by their fleeing owners. That's the story of Ayati community. That's the mystery of this place that's now a ghost town. And it's the question that has to be answered by the authorities of the Benue state government. What is the fate of Ayati community in the not too distant future? Arise News could find no evidence of any security presence in the deserted town, but the security advisor insists that forces are there, just out of sight.
Not a sign of life. In other words, no sign of life. This is one of the communities I've been talking about since getting to 5 days in Benue State. Now, I really want to thank Arise News. If you have been following my broadcast, I only call out Arise News Channels Television because they are not doing the work they're supposed to do. Now, I can say kudos to Arise News for carrying out this research. I have been crying time without number that people are dying in Benue State. Many villages are deserted and nobody's living in it because this is what people from Benue State are telling me. So I have contacts with so many of them. They are telling me what is going on. So I'm so happy that Arise News, they were able to go there and, find out what is going on. This is what I want. Now, in a country where you have leaders, politicians, a governor in that state, and you see something like that, people are dying. When you listen to the end of this video, you will see that even people that they will do mass burial because of fear, they are unable to go inside the bush to carry them out. Killings everywhere. Everywhere is mending according to what I was told. Hello, let them end this country, please. People have right to live. Let them end this country to save life. Because what I'm seeing in the future is just like a doomsday. Take a listen to this video.
This is the largest yam market in the world, but it's a shadow of its former self. Located in Zakibiam town of Okum local government area of the Food Basket state, it once attracted customers from all over Nigeria as well as neighboring countries. Now, like its fallen signboard, the yam hub has fallen on hard times. In its heyday, it used to be a beehive of activity, welcoming yam buyers from various West African countries, from Niger, from Cameroon, from Benin Republic. They used to come from far and near. And of course, you had buyers from all over Nigeria. However, as you can see, this former beehive of activity is practically deserted. Most of the stalls are empty. And just behind the camera, you have a handful of farmers who hoarded some of their yams and have summoned up the courage to come to the market at this time. Now, what is the problem?
Everything is very hard. So, like yam, we used to buy 80,000 before. It's 200,000 now. It's 200,000 now. And after when you buy it 200,000, you will put another expenses. Like 100 yam, you used to put it 30,000 to reach my place. So when you check it inside in the goods, you see that everything is high.
Before, we used to buy like 100 yam. That is one heap. We bought like 50,000, 60,000, 40,000, depending the size of the yam. But now, the price have escalated to what we don't know. We are buying a heap of yam now, 500,000, 600,000. The small size now we used to buy 40,000, 300,000. So the price is too high.
Attacks by bandits have crippled food production in these areas, leaving farms deserted and fields empty. It means the market has been cut off from its supply chain.
There is insecurity issues in the area. Very much, a lot of it. The farmers are not going to the farm to do their farm works. Granite, even to plant and weed their yams products. And on the road, when they try to bring those things, those goods to the market, it's very difficult because of the attacks on the roadside.
The farmers are running from their farm places, coming out to the town. So there's no way you can farm in the town. This is the farm that you farm so that you get enough products inside the town. But now, even next year, we're expecting that things will go more difficult because the Fulanis and headers are in the bush, chasing them outside from the farms. Most of them are just around the town, hanging around.
Commercial activities in the town have also been crippled following the destruction of all 3 banks in the town. This is the result of a riot triggered by events in Ayati, one of the satellite communities of Zakibiam, about 15 kilometers away. At the start of July, some Ayati youths stormed the Ukum local government headquarters, protesting the killing of their relatives.
They carried the corpse to the local government because there was no security. So as they came to the local government, there was nobody. They waited to the gate or to 2 or 3 hours like that. There was nobody. So some people came in. People was so angry, and then other people came in. So that was burst into the protest.
The trail of destruction includes the Ukum local government secretariat, devastated by fire. The neighboring police station and the High Court were also attacked. But the climate of violence in Ayati continues. A combination of local bandits and armed herdsmen stormed the community with a population of about 15,000 on the 8th of August, wreaking unprecedented havoc.
Anyogo, the chief bandit there, organized herdsmen, let me call them that, organized herdsmen and his own boys to punish Ayati for revealing their locations to the military. Because the military sometimes, particularly operations in that, used to be successful in reaching them and attacking them and destroying their camps. So they went on a retaliatory mission. That is one vision. One other vision we got there was that Anyogo got money from the herdsmen to hand over the land to the leaders of the community. At the end of it, he didn't do that. And when they moved, that is when they moved in, they were asked to leave. But the community, so they now took them in with all his boys in hundreds to ensure that the Fulani headers get their way and have the land he promised them, because he got their money as we were told and shared it to the chiefs in that area.
On Thursday, which was our market day, we started hearing rumors that the headmen are coming with guns and swords in larger numbers again. Then we called on the security to come to our aid again. One police officer with his boys, Mr. Danzuru, he went there, and they posted 10 mobile police members who are in the village with us. But the bandits that came with cutlasses and guns, Fulani mixed with these bad boys, they outnumbered them. Over 400 militants invaded our village. They surrounded our village just in no time. We started hearing gunshots. They killed people.
More than 60 residents have been confirmed dead. There are still more suspected casualties yet to be recovered.
Up to now, they are picking people in the bush. You know, this bullet, when they hit a person, sometimes you run with madness. You run as if you are mad. They run as they are possessed. They will go and die. So they are still picking people in the bush. Some people that have died, they have started rotting. So they're just covering them now.
After the massacre killing, we just run out of the village. The village is just like that. Nobody has made a mass burial there. Some families have buried their relations, and most of the corpses are lying in the mortuary now. And others in the bush, we are yet to pick them because of lack of security.
Not a sign of life. All doors under lock and key. The only sign of life is the domestic animals, a handful of them left behind by their fleeing owners. That's the story of Ayati community. That's the mystery of this place that's now a ghost town. And it's the question that has to be answered by the authorities of the Benue state government. What is the fate of Ayati community in the not too distant future? Arise News could find no evidence of any security presence in the deserted town, but the security advisor insists that forces are there, just out of sight.
When I was there, we saw security men, soldiers were there, and policemen in numbers. and the community volunteer gas as they are now. And when I called the officers, military officers, they told me that people were there and they would get their grid references and send to me if I needed them to prove that they were on ground. So if they were not in the main town, they were in the surrounding areas, so that they will not be taken on the west within the town. That might be a different thing.
There are many scars left behind from that attack. Farms trampled by cattle, houses burned down, and the fields left unattended, even though it's harvest season. The farmers who should be looking after the crops have been forced to flee.
They destroyed all our farms around our village there. The surrounding village, they all destroy everything. They burnt houses, they destroy our yam farms, they destroy our groundnut farms, rice farm. There is no farm, we have no cassava farm in our area again.
The desolation extends across a radius of 20 kilometers, with homesteads and farms deserted by residents of Ayati and its neighboring settlements. They were all suppliers of yams to the market in Zakebiam. Gunmen continue their reign of terror, repeatedly proving elusive to security forces. The concern now is, if the food basket of Nigeria is in crisis, the whole country could soon be feeling the effects. Charles Eruka, Arise News, Benue State.
According to our people, they said Ichiche. Nigeria has a different geographical area, a different kingdom, a different zone. Some places are controlled by bandits, some places are controlled by Boko Haram, some places are controlled by Nigeria government. So which part of the Nigeria are you? Let us stop this country, I beg. Let us stop this nation. You see, this is not about derogatory words, or this is not all about hatred for a nation. I mean, a community is gone. Not one, not two, not three. People are dying every day. Even 20 students were kidnapped yesterday there. 5 days ago, 100 people were killed again. Continuously. And people are saying we have a nation. We don't have a nation. We don't have a nation. Any country that is unable to protect the lives and property of the people, you know that country is in trouble. Anyway, I granted an interview to someone yesterday, and I think apart from dividing the country, even though the country is going to divide, they should give security to the indigenous people. They should give everything, return this country to the indigenous people. Give power to the indigenous people, let the indigenous people rule, let the indigenous people control the resources, let the indigenous people control the security. Take a look at the interview.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my sister.
Sir, I'm fine, sir. So I want to ask you something. This thing that is happening in Nigeria, all this kidnapper of thing, do you think the government cannot do anything about it?
For me, not that the government cannot do anything about it. I believe that they don't want to do anything about it because it's not affecting them. They have their own police, they have their own security, so they don't care about what happened to the poor man.
Okay, so the poor people now will face their...
That is what the way I feel about it.
Yeah. So what will they do? What can we do now to stop all this kidnapping of it?
For me, if people who are their leaders, if they are serious about it, I think they will empower the vigilantes. Because we don't have enough police now. If you even call police, they say they don't have fuel. So I believe the government don't have the political way to tackle the insecurity.
But can vigilante people be able to do it? Because they are not like soldiers.
Yes, for me, I believe the vigilante will be able to do it because soldiers don't know road into the bush. All these kidnappers, they work with people who owns the community. If you go in their farm, all those soldiers don't know farm or police don't know farm. You understand? So I believe that if the government can work with the vigilante, empower them, buy them hindos, buy them gun, they will be able to work it. And then, you know, there are some time in Ekpa South, Agbo, there were a group of kidnappers that were arrested. They took them to police station. They say call came from above and they leave them. So I believe that when you send police to go and, fight these people, they might compromise. And not only compromising because of, maybe they are accomplice to what is going on. They don't still have the motivation because most of them are not being paid a huge sum of money. They will think that, this 70,000 they are paying me, I can't die because of 70,000. You understand? So I believe there is no enough motivation political way. But the difference between police and the vigilante is that vigilante will say, here is my community.
They will fight for their community.
You understand? They'll fight for their community.
Yes.
But police, maybe the police come from the north. Here is not my community. I can't die for the community. So there is no political will. There is no motivation.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.